A very good evening to you all, and thank you for joining us here on Rwanda Television News tonight. We do hope you had yourselves a very productive Thursday. Now, top of our edition, these are our headlines. On Thursday at Urugwiro village, President Paul Kagame held talks with the chairperson of the East African Community, President Salva Kiir of South Sudan, and his delegation. The plenary session of the Chamber of Deputies approved the basis of the bill that ratifies the final amendment of the UK-Rwanda Immigration and Economic Partnership Agreements. We are very glad to have your company tonight, coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali. My name is Martina Abera. On Thursday afternoon at Village Urugwiro, President Paul Kagame held talks with the chairperson of the East African Community, President Salva Kiir of South Sudan, and his delegation, as well as Dr. Peter Mathuki, the EAC Secretary General. They discussed the importance of addressing the root causes of insecurity in the region, as well as the need to uphold integrity and accountability in the functioning of the East African Community. Moving on, the plenary session of the Chamber of Deputies approved the basis of the bill that ratifies the final amendment of the UK-Rwanda Immigration and Economic Partnership Agreements. Adam Squizera has more on this report.
Rwanda is proud to be part of a solution to a global crisis.
Rwanda and the UK on Tuesday, December 5th, 2023, announced a new migration treaty that was set to emphasize in a binding manner and already existing commitments that address concerns that were previously raised about the protection of asylum seekers. Political and diplomatic analyst Ambassador Joseph Mutaboba expresses the hope in the implementation of these agreements based on the confidence that was shown by the UK's House of Commons, which voted in favor of the new migration treaty with Rwanda in January 2024.
Amendments can change something in the light of understanding how Rwanda is safe. So since the bill itself talks of safety, for the people, for the immigrants, so they have to agree. Because if we say Rwanda is safe, it can prove it. We have proved it. By the way, we have been handling the refugees from stranded in Libya. So yes, we can. So if you can, why do you still doubt? So they should not doubt about this, and I believe now they have no doubt about the safety of Rwanda, and this can go an extra mile.
After reviewing the contents of the draft law, agreeing to ratify this agreement, the members of parliament approved this draft bill, emphasizing Rwanda's uniqueness in solving global crises.
It's something to be proud of that this parliament contributed its part in solving global crisis, and I'm also supporting this. Honorable Speaker, I was happy for the fact that these immigrants who will come will be integrated in the Rwandan community. Since this bill has been ratified, it also has to be implemented, because we know well that they will have a good stay, not only for their well-being, that will be prioritized, but also their safety.
The Minister of Justice and the Attorney General, Dr. Ugirasheuja Emmanuel, noted that the government of Rwanda is ready enough to implement these agreements in the line of the international laws. The UK-Rwanda Immigration and Economic Partnership Agreement will be implemented under the international laws, hence to protect those immigrants to be transferred to where their lives can be in risk. There you understand that there were some established strategies dedicated to protect the rights of those immigrants. At the beginning, the government of Rwanda is expected to host more than 2,000 immigrants in the first 4 months, once this agreement is approved through the process outlined by the laws of each country. Adam Squizera, RTV News.
Thank you, Adams, for that report. The governor of the Central Bank of Rwanda, John Rwangombwa, assures that this year the rate of price increase will not exceed 5% unless there are other obstacles at hand. We have more on this. Let's go.
This was what the governor of the Central Bank of Rwanda said when, at the beginning of last year, 2023, the average rate of price increase was at the rate of 20.7%. The prices of some foods had risen by over 40%. At the end of last year, the price increase was on average of 6.4%, and in the first month of 2024, it reached 5%. Governor Rwangombwa emphasizes that there is hope that this year the rate of price increase will remain low.
The
prices of goods, especially those of petrol, diesel, and foodstuff, saw a huge decrease last year. This saw a drop in increase of prices on average in the market to 6.8% in 2023 from 8.7% in 2022, and we hope that it will continue to drop down to around 5.8%. This says a lot about the country's economy.
In general, the rate at which the prices increase rapidly should be between 2 and 8%. Rwanda's economy grew at a rate of 7.6% in the 3 quarters of last year, while the country's target was to grow at 6.2%. Additionally, last year, the value of the Rwandan currency against the dollar decreased by 18%, which also affects the price changes in the market. Governor Rwangombwa also gives hope that this rapid increase has started to decrease.
What I can say is that it has already begun to decrease. The rapid rate of increase has definitely reduced. There are 2 reasons as to why the value of the Rwandan franc against the dollar decreased. The first is on the international scale. Due to the decision that the Central Bank of America took, it made the dollar currency much more valuable on the international market. Almost all currency had a decrease in value compared to the dollar. When this happens, prices on the market increase, which leads them to taking their money to the US to invest, causing local currencies to depreciate. Another reason is that the amount of locally produced food is still low, making the money needed to send for imports to increase, especially in the previous year. There is a big difference in that and the amount of money derived from exports, causing a depreciation in the local currency.
The Monetary Policy Board of the BNR decided to maintain the base interest rate of 7.5% that was already there for commercial bank loans, but also say that this interest rate could be lowered soon if the economy continues to do well.
The Ministry of Justice, in collaboration with Transparency International Rwanda, has hosted a consultative meeting on the new Rwanda anti-corruption policy. The session has brought together key anti-corruption stakeholders to offer insights for enhancing the policy document before a cabinet approval. It was noted that the policy signifies the unwavering dedication of the government, institutions, civil society, private sector, and all citizens to work together tirelessly to rid the society of the corruption. Now moving on, top officials in the National Electoral Commission have urged all people old enough to vote to make sure that their information on the country's voting list is accurate. The lists are to be distributed in all settlements across Rwanda in March.
2024, we are going to be having elections in Rwanda, and for the 53 members of parliament, those who come through the political parties and those who aspire for these seats, either presidential or parliamentarians, on their own. So we also have the 24 members elected through the National Women Council, elected by the councils of women, and also we have 2 members representing youth in the parliament. They are also elected by the National Youth Council, and also 1 person representing the disabled, who are also represented in the parliament. Those 27 seats, we call it special organs. They are going to elect their members on 16th July 2024. Preparations are ongoing. They are our partners, so we have been preparing all this legal framework, the training materials, and other things together, so they are aware on what is going on. Another thing I will say is that March, April, we are going to send the list the voter, we call it voter register. Every year we update the voter register. We work with NIDA to make sure that our systems work together. Every year we update this voter register, and we get to know how many Rwandans are going to be on the voter register. We are estimating around 8.7 million this in the upcoming elections, and with this collaboration with NIDA, it becomes easier for us to update this voter register. But at the same time, we send this register to the community, to Mudugudu, making sure that everyone checks on this register if their names are correctly put, and if there is any change, so that our volunteers, we have around 70,000 volunteers nationwide, who helps us to organize and conduct elections. So they are there to help the community. No one should be worried about it. And by June, we are going to be having the final voter register around 29th June. And in these guidelines, it is also clearly stated, we also, very important thing is on the submission of candidacy, and we are going to start receiving this, those who are aspiring for these posts, either the presidential or the parliamentarians, from 17th May to 30th May. Very important dates. For the presidential candidates, they bring it by themselves, and for the 53 members of parliament, those who are coming from the political parties list, the representative of a political party brings the list to the National Electoral Commission. And for the women, youth, and disabled, they bring the 24/7 members. They bring also their application here to the National Electoral Commission office. So in these guidelines, we have many detailed guidelines which explains clearly how elections are going to be conducted. We also have what the observers needs to do and how. When they're supposed to bring their request, how do we handle them? How do they get registered here? So all those things are clearly explained in our guidelines of National Electoral Commission. So when you read more than 100 articles there, you get all the information you need. So I would wish to inform the public that the guidelines are already on our website. The organic law is on our website, and all the information regarding the upcoming election are going to be shared, and even the detailed program. The campaign is very important date. We are going to be having campaigns from 22nd June to 13 July. So this is a very important dates for those who are aspiring to go to the parliament or to the presidential. Those who are going to be want to go to to bring us to campaign for the president.
Yeah, we know in our community there are young girls and boys who don't have identification cards. Mm-hmm. How far are you working with NIDA to solve those problems?
Very important question, and thank you so much for that, because this is a requirement, of course, for to be registered on our voter register. But what I would say is that because we update it every year, you find that those who are coming for the first time, those our young people who now have reached the age of which is accepted in our laws, 18 years. And we have started in partnership with the Ministry of Local Government and NIDA to work on this and sensitizing the community to make sure that they have their IDs so that they can be able to vote. But I would say that though we don't encourage any Rwandan not to have their IDs because it is very important and it is a law, but on our list, on our voter register, we have all the details. So long as you have registered with, you have requested for an ID and you have been registered in the system, automatically it comes to our system. So when you come to vote for a specific reason that you didn't, you don't have that ID that particular day, you are not going to be, you are going to be allowed to vote. But we would encourage everyone to have the ID because it is very important for any citizens of Rwanda, any citizen of Rwanda to have the ID. So we are working closely with all the institutions, make sure that we, also the media, please continue encouraging our people to look for their IDs. There are those who have lost their IDs, others are registering for the first time. So, and the system, I mean, the institutions are there to help them. So it will be good that they approach the institutions from the Umudugudu level. I think we have these administrative structures which can help them have the IDs. So it will be good. It is a citizen's right, so it will be good for them to have it.
Thank you. By concluding our conversation, how many sites do we have in this upcoming election, and are we sure that all those sites are well infrastructured?
Thank you so much. This is once again a very important component because we need to have the sites where people are going to do their casting of their votes. We have an estimate of 2,500 sites. When I talk about sites, it means here in Rwanda we use schools, and we want to thank the government that wherever we have gone, we have seen that we have nice schools, and we are going to be having more than one room in one site. So we had kind of a checklist of what are the things we would wish to see in a site. So because we need our elections to be as usual, to have an election which, every citizen who goes there is free to vote and has all the facilities. So we have been looking into issues like roads, accessibility to the site. We have been looking into the issues of electricity. We are looking into issues of the room, which is a sufficient room where you can put like 3 or 4 booths for the voting, and we are looking also into the hygiene of that site. If we have toilets, if we have water, if we have special rooms for the people who might have special needs, and we are. What I would say is that where we have done this evaluation, we realized that many of the sites available have more or less all what we need to have. But there are, of course, other areas which need some improvement, and where maybe there's no enough electricity, there are no enough water, maybe the roads are not accessible, but you are working closely with the Ministry of Local Government and the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Infrastructure, making sure that we are not leaving any stone untouched.
The Minister of Interior of the Central African Republic affirmed the nation's readiness to further strengthen its security forces during discussions with the Rwandan National Police on Thursday. He reiterated on this to underscore the ongoing commitment of Central Africa to enhance its security forces. Olive Nete has more.
During the second day of Minister of Interior, General Michel Nikes-Nassin's visit to Rwanda, an important milestone was reached as the two nations signed Memorandum of Understanding in the realm of security. Retired Major General Albert Murasira, the Minister in charge of Emergency Management, emphasizes that this agreement between Rwanda and the Central African Republic will yield significant benefits for the citizens of both nations.
La coopération entre nos deux ministères.
The cooperation between our two countries and affiliated institutions will be raised to another level. These documents clearly indicate the key points of the mutual interest, which will be the priority of our future cooperation and a pillar of the reinforcement of relations between our people.
On the Central African Republic side, it is also emphasized that this agreement holds particular significance in maintaining security within the country.
Nos deux États ne peuvent que signer des accords de coopération dans
Our two states can only sign cooperation of agreements in various areas relating to supporting the implementation of the national strategy for the reform of the security and defense sector. The manifested support of the Republic of Rwanda is an effort to seek peace and security in the Central African Republic.
General Michel Nikes-Nassin also visited the headquarters of the Rwanda National Police, engaging in discussions with its authorities. During the visit, General Michel expressed gratitude for Rwanda's cooperation in the ongoing efforts to reconstruct the security system in Central Africa.
With the crisis we faced as the Central African Republic, a political-military crisis, we were severely affected, but we thank God that in 2016, the President of the Republic started bringing officers that are capable of raising again the security sector. That's what we are currently working on, doing necessary reforms in the security sector, so let us be united and also take into consideration the fact that there are people from our police that are in trainings here in Rwanda. We count on your determination and availability.
The Inspector General of Police, CG Felix Namuharanye, highlighted the significance of cooperation between the two countries in the field of security, emphasizing its role in strengthening the responsibilities of this sector. This commitment to continued cooperation was reiterated on by the Rwandan police spokesperson, ACP Boniface Rutikanga.
We usually have cooperation in matters of trainings, and currently we have 50 police personnel from the Central Africa that are being trained at one of our centers in Mayanje. This visit aims to expand the cooperation and also to see if possible to send our personnel to train the police personnel of the Central African Republic in their country, so that they may train a big number, depending on what they need, hence to expand their operations in their country.
Currently, approximately 700 Rwandan police officers are actively engaged in maintaining security within the Central African Republic. Concurrently, over 50 police officers from the Central African Republic are undergoing training in Rwanda to enhance their skills and capabilities. Olive Nete, RTV News.
Thank you, Olive. The city of Kigali on this Thursday began removing buildings that were built in violation of the building code. It is an activity that started in Jabana sector of Gasabo district. The mayor of Kigali, Samuel Dusengiyumva, urges residents to comply with the construction laws and demonstrates that those who violate them will not be tolerated.
Quite a good number of contractors, the people who construct their houses. Some of them, they go beyond the permits. That means you're given a surface that you need to construct, but then you go beyond. Some others, they actually deviate. Most of them that we have seen around the Jabana sector, they were permitted to construct livestock shed, but instead they went and constructed residential houses. As part of the regulation code, the building code, it is provided that if you have gone beyond the construction permit, the part that has been constructed is removed at the constructor's cost, and then you keep what has been permitted. For those that have been, that deviate from the permit, for example, those that deviate from livestock shed to residential houses, they have to remove those construction because they are constructed in a location that is not actually, that does not allow residential, that is for agriculture. So that's what we are doing. In terms of numbers, we have, today we have started with 14 infrastructure buildings that comprises of one commercial building and 13 residential buildings. And this is an ongoing process. We continue to issue notice to those who have deviated from the building code regulations, and this is a task that we're going to continue undertaking. We want to really call upon Kigali residents that if you want to construct, you can be given a permit. But once you have a permit, you are advised not to go beyond the permit, because the provision of the building codes provide that if you do so, you have taken the risk that the deviation is going to be removed, and it's going to be removed at your own cost.
DSTV Rwanda has released its business bundle for establishments engaged in commerce and venues that bring together many people with an interest in such matters.
So we have 3 packages for our commercial customers. Stay for accommodation setups, e.g. hotels, hospitals. We have play for restaurants and pubs and clubs. And then we have our work package for our offices, our government establishments and government institutions. So are there any benefits of being on DSTV Business? Yes, there are several benefits. So we are telling the business owner, if today you are on DSTV Business, we want to walk the journey with you. We want to help drive traffic to your outlet. We want to help you connect with your customers through our exclusive content. We have sports, English Premier League, we have La Liga, Champions League, ESPN. We have kids content, Jim Jam, Cartoon Network, etc. We have documentaries, Nat Geo, that we want to help bring customers to your establishment and keep them coming back so that to help you drive profits. So we are telling you that we have a dedicated team on ground that will visit all establishments and just to help you the customer journey from onboarding to making payments. And we are telling you that DSTV for business means your business at its best.
Before we wind up, we'd like to thank you very much for sticking with us on RTV News. Stay safe and have a great night.